Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to understand how to send new orders from Shopify to Airtable. So I'm an owner of an e-commerce business and I manage my online store using Shopify and I create the record of all my order details in my Airtable. Now whenever I receive a new order, I want to create the record of the details in my Airtable. And doing that manually is a very time consuming and a hectic process. So in order to save time, what I've done is I've built a connection between Shopify and Airtable using Pabbly Connect, that too without need of any coding and programming skills. So now if you want to learn this entire process step by step, for that you have to come to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to sync new orders from Shopify to Airtable. So as an owner of an e-commerce business, I use Shopify to manage and receive all my online orders. I use Airtable to organize customer details and track inventory in a structured and flexible way. To ensure my order data stays updated and organized in real time, I have built a connection between Shopify and Airtable using Pabbly Connect. Now, whenever I receive a new order on my Shopify store, automatically the order details are being added over here in my Airtable as a record. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this connection between these two applications works in real time. I'm going to place a new order on my Shopify store, and after that, I'm going to check whether automatically the record of the details has been added over here in my Airtable or not. Okay. For that, firstly, I'm going to place a new order. So these are the products right here. For placing the order, I'm going to open my online store from here. Now for placing the order, if I'm going to scroll down, this is the product. I'm going to open it and I'm going to click on this Buy It Now button. Firstly, it is asking for the email address. For the email address over here, I'm going to write it as test44@pabblytudes.com. This is the email address. Country, that is India. For the first name over here, I'm going to write it as demo. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as user. For the address over here, I'm going to write it as 15 and the apartment is going to be New Street. For the city over here, I'm going to write it as Indore. For the state, I'm going to select it over here as Madhya Pradesh. And for the pin code over here, I'm going to write in a dummy pin code. After filling in all the details, next it is asking for the shipping method, for which I'm going to select it as standard. And for the card details, I'm going to fill in the dummy card details right here. After filling in all the details, I'm going to click on this Pay Now button. As I've done that, you can see it says your order is confirmed. As now the order is confirmed, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Airtable right over here, and yes, you can see the record of the new order has been added. This is the order ID, name is demo user, email address is test44@pabblytudes.com. If I'm going to further scroll, the dress is Blush Affair Cord Set. If I'm going to open this, you can see this is the same dress right over here. You can see the quantity is 1, amount is 4130. You can see this is the amount right over here, that is 4130. And you can see right over here the date is 3/7/2025. This is the date. And the address is 15 New Street, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. Status is paid, you can see right over here. And this is the order status URL. Okay. If I'm going to open it, you can see this is the same order that was placed. Okay. So as now the record has been created over here in my Airtable of the new order been created. So this is how this amazing automation between these two applications work in real time. And we're going to build this connection using Pabbly Connect. For that, on a new tab, I'm going to browse the website of Pabbly Connect, that is www.pabbly.com/connect. After browsing the website, Pabbly Connect's landing page is going to appear in front of you, on which you have two options, that is sign in or sign up for free. If you're an existing user, you can directly sign into your Pabbly Connect account, but if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. I am an existing user, so I'm going to directly sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications that Pabbly provides. As you want to use Pabbly Connect, I'm going to click on this Access Now button right over here. As I've done that, the dashboard of Pabbly Connect is going to appear in front of you, and now to create a new automation, we have to add a new workflow. For that, click on this Create Workflow button on the top right corner. Firstly, it is asking for the workflow name. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to write it as Sync New Orders from Shopify to Airtable. Okay, so this is the name of my workflow. For the folder, these are the folders from which I'm going to select the workflows folder. And then I'm going to click on this Create button right over here. As I've done that, you can see a new workflow has been created, and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One is the trigger window, other is the action window. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process, because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is the response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We have to set up our trigger step first, in which my trigger application, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select it as Shopify Legacy right over here. I have selected my trigger application as Shopify because as soon as a new order is going to be placed in our Shopify store, I want the trigger should capture the response of that. And the trigger event over here is going to be new order, okay? After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Now, using the unique webhook URL and by following the steps given here below in the help desk, I'm going to build a connection between Shopify and Pabbly Connect. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here, using which we're going to build the connection and log into our Shopify store. After coming to Shopify, over here, go to the settings option right over here. After coming to settings from the panel, go to the notifications section right here. After coming to notifications, you need to select the webhook section right over here. After coming to webhook, it said create webhook. I'm going to click on it. Okay. Firstly, it is asking for the event. For the event, I'm going to select over here as order creation, as I want the trigger should capture the response of only the order been created. That is why we need to select the event. Format is going to be JSON. For the URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And for the API version, I'm going to select the latest version. And then I'm going to click on this save button. You can see the webhook URL has now been successfully added. Okay. As now the webhook has been saved over here in my Shopify store. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. It says waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Shopify is connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new order over here in my Shopify store. And after that, I'm going to check whether automatically the trigger over here captures the response of the new order been added or not. Okay. For creating a new order, I'm going to open this online store and preview it from here. Then I'm going to scroll down right over here. These are the two products. I'm going to put an order for this product right over here. I'm going to buy it now. As I've done that, over here it is asking for the order details. Firstly, for the contact, that is the email, I'm going to write over here as demoUser@pabblytudes.com. Country is going to be India. First name is going to be demo. Last name is going to be student right over here. For the address, I'm going to write over here as 145. And for the apartment, I'm going to write over here as new apartment. Okay. For the city over here, I'm going to write over here as Mumbai. For the state, I'm going to select over here as Maharashtra. After adding the PIN code, it is asking for the method, which is going to be standard shipping. And for the card details, I'm going to enter the dummy card details right over here. After entering all the required details, I'm going to click on this Pay Now button to do the payment. And as I've done that, it says your order is confirmed. Okay. So now as the order has been placed successfully over here, you can see the order is for 2,360 for the dress, the black dress you can see right over here. And these are the order details. Okay. So as now the order is placed, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, the response of the order details has been captured over here in my trigger. If I'm going to tally the response, the price is 2,360. You can see the name is demo user. The state was Maharashtra. This is the pin code you can see right over here. If I'm going to further scroll down, these are the names. Country is India. This is city, that is Mumbai. Address is new apartment. This is the address 145 you can see right over here. If I'm going to further scroll down, you can see the name is black dress you can see right here. If I'm going to further scroll down, this is the product ID. Order right over here with all the other details. Okay. Email is demo@pabblytudes.com. So as now the response over here has been captured in my trigger, this means that Shopify is connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is now been done. After setting up our trigger step, as I want to add the details of this order over here in my Airtable, now we're going to set up our action step, for which for my action application, I'm going to select over here as Airtable. Action event over here is going to be create record, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection. Then click on this connect with Airtable button right over here. After coming to this page, firstly you have to select all the resources from here and I have to add a base. For the base, I'm going to search for the base that I've created, that is Shopify order tracker. Okay, this is the base that I've created. Then I'm going to click on this grant access button, as this is a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this access now button right here. And as I've done that, you can see Airtable has now been connected to Pabbly Connect. After connecting, for the base name, I'm going to select over here as Shopify order tracker. So for the base name, I'm going to search for the base and select it over here. Okay. And then it is asking for the table. I've created a single table in the name of table 1. So for the table name, I'm going to select it as table 1. Then it is asking for all the details like the order ID, customer name, email address, product name. So what are these fields? These are the headers that I've created in which I'm going to keep the record of all the Shopify orders. Okay. So now for the data of these fields, I'm going to map the data which is inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, the previous step is going to appear in front of you. As I'm going to click on it, the response that is captured in our previous step is going to appear in front of you. Firstly, over here it is asking for the order ID. So I'm going to search for the ID right over here. In the previous response, I have received the ID of the order. You can see right over here, and I'm going to create the record of this order itself. So I'm going to select the data of the order ID from my previous response. As now I've selected the data from my previous response, this data has now been mapped. And as I've mapped this data, the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. It is asking for the customer name next. So over here I'm going to search for the name and map the data. For the email address, I'm going to map the data of the email address that I've received right over here. This is the email address. For the product name, I'm going to again search for the name right over here of the product and map the data of the product name. For the quantity, I'm going to search the data of the quantity first and then map the data of the quantity right over here. For the total amount, I'm going to map the data of the total amount right here. So this is the total price. I'm going to map the data. In front of it, what I'm going to do is, as I'm dealing with rupees, so I'm going to enter the symbol that is RS. And over here in the end, I'm going to enter a slash and a dash. Okay. After that, it is asking for the order date. So I'm going to search over here for created. And you can see for the created, I have received the date and time, but in a UTC time zone format. I don't want to enter the time in this format. For that, simply I'm going to change the date format. For that, add an action step before this Airtable step, in which from action application, you need to select over here as date time formatter by Pabbly. And for the action event, I'm going to select as format date with time zone. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. For the date, I'm going to map the data of the date right over here. I'm going to search for created and map it. For the from format, I'm going to select the UTC time zone format. And for the to format, I'm going to select the simple format from here. For the from time zone, I'm going to select the UTC time zone over here because we have received the data in a UTC time zone format. And for the to time zone, I'm going to select over here as Asia, Kolkata. And simply, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. We have received the simple date right here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to map the data of this simple date over here in this field. This date, I'm going to map it. For the address, I'm going to search for the address right over here. And I'm going to map the data right here, okay? You can see right over here, this is the shipping address. For the payment status, I'm going to search for the status right over here. You can see the payment status is paid. I'm going to select it. And for the order URL, I'm going to search for the URL right over here. This is the order status URL. I'm going to map the data. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. And as I've done that, I have received a response, which is a positive response. So if I'm going to open my Airtable record, you can see over here in my record, the record has been created of the new order. This is the order ID. Name was demo student. Email is demouser@pablitudes.com. This is the product that was a black dress. Quantity is 1. The price is 2360, the price of the product. This is the address you can see right over here. Date of the order been created. Status is paid, and this is the URL. If I'm going to open the order URL from here, you're going to see this is the same order that we have placed is right here, okay? So as now the record of the order details has been created over here in my Airtable, this means that we have successfully built the connection between Shopify and Airtable using Pabbly Connect. Now, as soon as a new order is going to be created, trigger Shopify new order is going to capture the response of that. And to create a record in our Airtable, we have added this action step, that is Airtable create record. And this is how you simply build the connection between these two applications without need of any coding and programming skills using Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask us queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button down there.